What's up, 208 family? Good to see everybody. There's lots and lots to talk about. We've got some advice. We have trade advice. We have waiver wire advice. We're going to review the games from last week. Get you prepared for the week 3. Let's get into it right now. Got to get in here. Buckle in. File on in. Let's do it. Justin, how are you doing? We will get Chance here in a little bit with us, but how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing awesome, dude. Freaking Falcons defense. Not two words that are synonymous together, but man, they played their butts off. It was super fun to watch them fly around. Every single of our top 4 pick rookie wise had like an impact play. Like both our edges had sacks. Billy Bowman looks like that dude on the back end, and then Xavier Watts had a pick too. So I was pretty happy at the expense of Viking fans, but it was super fun to watch that football game.
Absolutely. Guys, we told you there's a lot of players we told you to keep an eye on, and we're going to cover some of those today. But boy, oh boy, some great games that we'll review. On a good note, we got a W this last Friday, so we're excited to see what we can take into our next game coming up. But you guys kind of went the other direction, took an L against a tough team. But hey, we're on to the next week. That's how football works. You never lose. You only learn. So let's jump into it. Justin, I know you got quite a bit of news for us to cover. Here we go.
What's going on?
All right, hit us with some news.
Oh, man. This hurts my heart because this player's on my team, and he's supposed to be a tractor, and he's probably done for the year, and that's Joe Burrow. I've seen a lot of comparisons to Andrew Luck. That has been brought up a lot recently, where Andrew Luck got killed his first couple of years, and that led to early retirements. Do I think that happens with Joe? No, but it is kind of stressful to see him keep getting hurt behind a terrible offensive line. I guess I didn't realize how bad that overall roster is, besides the top heaviness of Joe, Chase, Higgins, and Hendrickson. Like, really after that, it just feels like the rest of the 49, 48 players on that roster just are not good. We have Drake London, who's still dealing with his shoulder. I think he'll be okay. Mooney was limited, I believe, today as well. Brock Bowers is still dealing with his knee. George Kittle, again, is on IR. Xavier Worthy, shoulder. They're saying he probably should play this week. You have Juwan Jennings, Purdy as well, Ingram as well. I mean, there's just a lot of guys that are hurt, that are still playing through things. I saw a report that it said Purdy's going to play this week, which I thought was a little crazy. What do you think about that, Matt? About him playing?
I wouldn't play him. Let him sit. Let him get fully healthy. It's not going to hurt anything. It's still early, but from a fantasy standpoint, let him sit.
Yep. Then we have a bunch of the second-year guys got hurt. JJ got hurt in the Atlanta game, I think, late. I didn't really see where he got hurt. They said he's probably going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. Jane Daniels got hurt. We'll see if he plays. It sounds like he is going to be doubtful, so I don't expect to see him. Justin Fields got hurt. A lot of running backs. I feel like everybody was praying for this guy to get hurt, which sucks because he seems like a good dude in all his interviews. Austin Eckler tears his hamstring, so he's definitely done for the year. So that means Chance's guy, Bill, gets a chance to get the full workload. We'll see how he does. Jerry McNichols is still there, Boise State guy. I think Matt was really on this a little early. I get me and Matt, or me or Matt. I don't remember who it is. But we were pretty prominent that you needed to get Jordan Mason because he was such a value. You're getting him in double-digit rounds. Aaron Jones gets put on short-term IR, so minimum 4 weeks. And hamstrings are just tough. They just always continue to pop up over and over again. So, Matt, what is your thoughts on Jordan Mason? Are you pretty high on him? You think he's going to be a top 24 or top 12?
Yeah, look, so understand, we know J.J. McCarthy has not done well. He did okay against the Bears, kind of led them back. Comes back around week 2, struggles against the Falcons. and then Aaron Jones goes out. Look, I've been a firm believer from the very beginning. Jordan Mason could be a league winner for you. He is going to get that much work. So if you've picked him up, or if you got him, if you can trade for him, I'm very high on him. The offense is going to go through him. They'll still throw, they'll still work it, but he is going to be the cowbell in that offense now.
So the only thing with Jordan Mason, so I mean, I don't know how many of my league mates are watching this, but I'm trying to trade him right now just because I feel like his value is going to be super high. This is not an indictment on Jordan Mason. I still think he's going to be good. The thing that scares me and what happened Sunday night was it felt like every other play of Vikings offensive lineman was getting hurt. So they are down to their third string left tackle. And then their big money free agent signing, Ryan Kelly, who came in from Indianapolis, got hurt too. Centers are huge, especially for a rookie, basically a rookie quarterback in JJ, to make those line calls, okay? But I think with that, they will probably lean more heavily on the run. Do I think it will be productive? Like you're going to get a bunch of chunk plays? No, but I think he will get a ton of consistent work, which is what you want out of running backs. So running backs have been pretty scarce in fantasy. So just be on the lookout for that. Brian Thomas had an atrocious game. He will come up later. He had a really bad game. The way the Jaguars offense is looking, I think they'll be okay. But again, he'll come up. We'll talk about him later. They said he has a wrist injury that he's kind of shying away from contact with. We'll see how week 3 goes. He's supposed to play, so just be aware of that. Jaden Reed still hurt. Isaiah Likely should be coming back. And Mark Andrews looks like an absolute shell of himself. You should not be starting him in any leagues. Jawan Johnson is definitely on your waiver still. Just go out and play him. He's like the number 2 tight end in fantasy, and he's still not getting played a lot. I think that's it for all the injuries. There was a lot of quarterback injuries this week. I think everybody jinxed us with week 1 saying we didn't have a lot of injuries, and then week 2 just like an avalanche of injuries.
The one, and I think you mentioned it, you kind of went through a little quick because I'm a little slow. But Baker Mayfield had that foot injury, right? And gosh, he was kind of down. You're like, and then he popped up. I think he'll play, but again, we'll know more tomorrow. And as with all these injuries, just understand today's Wednesday. We'll know more going into tomorrow as they practice, unless they're playing for the Thursday night game. But just keep an eye on the injuries for sure. But I think he'll play.
And one thing to add on to Matt's point there, with the Bucks, Bucky has been playing really well. Same with Baker. Baker's a dog. Like, he's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks right now, and that sucks to say. They just lost their right guard for the whole season in Cody Mauch, which sucks, and they already lost Tristan Wirfs for at least a couple weeks. So their offensive line they're beat up right now. So just pay attention to that. A lot of offensive linemen are getting hurt, and people sometimes get overlooked. So maybe temper your expectation with Bucky. Bucky kind of is offensive line proof in a way where he's going to catch a ton of balls. So just be aware of that as well.
Yep, agreed. So lots of news. Thank you, Justin, for bringing that up. I do want to kind of hit a segment here. I want to review last week's games. And I know it's a little bit looking backward and everybody's looking to look forward. But I want to ask Justin a few questions on each one of these games. And if you guys have questions on these games, please reach out and ask, right? What about this? What about that? But let's talk about the Monday night game, the Chargers and the Raiders. Now, Justin, what's really interesting in this game is we really thought we'd see a ton of running and we'd see these 2 rookie running backs take off. And Hampton and Genty, are we too high on these guys coming out of the season, right? Hampton hasn't done anything. And we know the Raiders' offensive line looks really bad, and Genty's getting beat up. Are we concerned right now? It's like, should we do something different?
I'm not nervous, but like these are 2 guys. If we get to the trade segment, that I'm gonna. These are guys who get mentioned. I'm just gonna put it out there, okay? Genty, I have no idea why he's only playing 56% of snaps. Same with Omar and Hampton. He's played 62. Genty is getting absolutely no help on the front end. Like, he is breaking a ton of tackles. Like, all his advanced metrics are really good right now. But besides that, like, he's just getting killed before he even gets past the line of scrimmage. So I am not one to panic on this particular thing. He does have, I think, a decent matchups after this, after Washington, who has a decent defense. He has Chicago, Indianapolis, Tennessee, and then Kansas City, which is a decent matchup. That he has Jacksonville after the bye. I'm okay. Like, if you go out and trade for him, he might be a late season guy that pops off. Just like still have your expectations high. Again, they got to figure out how to ways to work him in. I think Gino's still working in. It feels like Gino just wants to give the ball to Jacoby Myers every time he gets a chance to. The Chargers, they just have a really good defense. I don't know, like they're just a good team. Justin Herbert looks really good. I hope they get to use Lamar in Hampton. Like, they're playing Denver this week, so I mean, you guys know how Denver is. Like, they're just a really good defense. But again, temper your expectations a little bit. I think they are very, very good trade candidates.
And I would echo that. Other than, don't panic yet. It's week 2, right? These are both talented running backs with very good offensive-minded coaches. So just don't panic yet. Moving on, Tampa Bay and Houston in a Tampa Bay 20, Houston 19. What a fun game to watch. The question I have for you, Justin, is: are the Bucks good? Are they legit? Are they like, wow? Can you talk us through that a little bit?
I think they're pretty good. Like, you guys know how bullish I was on Houston's defense. Like, I don't know how good Atlanta's defense is. I know how good Houston's defense is, but like, they've scored over 20 points against both these teams. Again, they're both slugfest. Probably could have gone either way. It felt like the Texans were gonna win this game, and then Baker said, "Nah, dude, I'm about to will this team to go win." And he just drove down so fast, and they scored so fast. I was just like, "What is going on?" But again, it feels like the Bucks are just like compounding injuries a lot, but Baker's just covered up a lot of deficiencies. I don't know who to compare it to. It's like when it's kind of like Josh Allen and the Bills. Like, I don't feel like the Bills have a crazy good roster, but man, like, Josh Allen's just like, yeah, I'm putting this team on back and we're gonna win games. Like, that's just what it is, which is absolutely terrifying as a Falcons fan.
Yeah, and the second half is CJ Stroud that bad? He has, I think he has the offense has only scored 2 touchdowns in 2 games. So, are they that bad? We talked about it. They were going to struggle. Their defense is kind of keeping them in games, but is CJ Stroud somebody you just maybe want to get rid of? Do you think there's a bounce back halfway through?
I think it all depends on schedule. I'll have to look up their schedule real quick. But, like, he should be okay because, like, he has all these wide receivers, but in the end, I am an offensive line guy. Like, they got 5 new starters, right? And their offensive line was atrocious last year. They replaced a lot of guys. They traded away their best guy. They play Jacksonville. Just give it 2 more weeks. They have Jacksonville and Tennessee. Those are very bad defenses right now. And then they have Baltimore, who's really good. Just give it 2 more weeks, see where you're at there. I think if you do have him, you probably should trade him after those 2 games because I think he'll be pretty high after that. But, again, we'll see with those 2 games.
This is something Justin and I have talked a lot about, but you have to play complementary football, right? I still know the Texan defense is an elite team, but if your offense cannot move the ball and you're putting the defense on the field over and over and over, they're going to give up points. 100%. Houston's defense, as good as it has allowed 34 points already. That's way too much in 2 games. So you're going to lose games, and that defense won't be elite unless the offense can move the ball. So moving on to Atlanta and Minnesota. And I know you watched this game. Atlanta looked very, very good against a Minnesota team that we thought maybe, gosh, they came back against the Bears, looked halfway decent, rough in the first half, came back, like I said, beat the Bears. But then this really wasn't even a game from the beginning. Give us your thoughts on the Falcons.
So both red zone offenses were absolutely atrocious. The only reason the Falcons moved the ball is because they had 200 yards. They had over 200 yards rushing. Like, they made it a point, like, we're going to run them out. And, like, Bijan, I think one of the best quotes Bijan had is, like, I trained with Christian McCaffrey this offseason to have breakaway runs. And he had a few of them where he was getting some pretty explosive runs, just, like, breaking tackles like crazy. I think the one big takeaway from this that I got is Kyle Pitts is going to be consistent all year. like Penix is going to pepper him with 6 to 8 targets a game. He's probably going to have 50 to 70 yards. Like, he's going to get his. And I think a lot of people are panicked on Drake London. But there's one thing I want you guys to know, and I think Matt probably sees this a little bit with football. He has a 30% target share right now. It's fat. It's a huge target share. Like, just be patient. He will be fine. He will probably have a bounce back game against Carolina. He's going against J.C. Horn, who's probably the best defensive back right now in football, according to PFF metrics. But, like, just be patient with him. We'll be okay. It seems like when we started to get up, our defense started to get on them. It felt like they're like, Penix, get the ball out fast. We're not going for deep shots. They really relied on that running game Sunday night. So,
do want to touch briefly on the Vikings. May or may not remember, but Ryan Kelly suffered a concussion in that first half, right? So that was, if you don't know who Ryan Kelly is, that's the center for the Vikings. And J.J. McCarthy just did not look good at all in that game. So we'll have to wait and see. It's a little early. I'm still kind of off the J.J. McCarthy train right now. I do think he can be a great leader. It's just it's his first year, guys. And so don't have any shares of JJ.
Correct.
Moving over to the Philly KC game, and 20-17, Philly pulls that one out with the tush push and the infamous verbiage to Jalen Hurts. You didn't even have 100 yards, and he goes, "Yeah, but I won the game." So hey, kudos for him saying that. I'm starting to believe here that the Chiefs dynasty is over. It feels very interesting. Like, wow, there is some. I don't know. I know Rashee Rice is coming back. If there's an opportunity to get him, now's the time to do it. And I will say, I think Mahomes has put this team on his back right now. If you can trade for Mahomes, do it right now in a fantasy, because he's going to get Rashee Rice back, and I think that will actually elevate him. So, Justin, give me your thoughts on the Chiefs, and then we'll go over to the Eagles.
I did not realize Patrick Mahomes had 60 yards rushing in this game. Yes. That's pretty significant, right? Yeah, I get what Matt is saying. Just a rumor going on X is they are pretty frustrated with their wide receiver room. Maybe they go out and get Tyreek back. That would be an interesting thing. One thing that I'm taking away for this, I am totally out on the passing game. Completely out on the passing game of the Eagles. I don't want AJ. I don't want Devonta Smith. I don't want anybody on that passing offense. They're going to ride Saquon again to the playoffs. That's what they're going to do. They gave 22 touches. Or sorry, they gave him 24 touches. Okay? I mean, they threw the ball 22 times for 100 yards. That's you can't be fantasy relevant. Sorry, guys. Like, it is what it is. They're playing too much.
And we'll touch on. Yeah, and we're going to touch on some of that trade target stuff, and so remember this when we get there. Indianapolis and Denver. I wish Chance were on. Look, we're eating crow right here. We told you not to worry about Daniel Jones against this Denver offense, and he literally picked him apart in that game. Indy wins 29-28, and I really wanted to ask Chance, what happened here? What was it? Now all of a sudden Daniel Jones is relevant and looks pretty darn good in Indy, in addition to Jonathan Taylor looked really good as well. Give me your thoughts on Indy, Justin. Where do we go from here on the Colts and what they have?
Yeah, I'm just kind of blown away. Like, if they win the AFC South, like, I was really, really wrong. So, like, maybe the Giants were the problem. Like, Saquon, Daniel Jones. If anybody watches defensive football, Xavier McKinney, who plays for the Packers, who in the last 18 games regular season wise since he went to the Packers, he's leading the league in interceptions. It's just strange. It's just weird. Like, again, I think Steichen has always been a good play caller.
Yeah.
But yeah, just strange that they're this good, and even just a weird game.
I think it's the Warren effect.
Yeah.
Warren comes in. You know, he's playing very, very well as a rookie tight end. So
yep.
Denver, Denver's defense is not this bad. I'm not sure what happened, but they are a very, very good defense. My thought, and I told this to Justin before the game, I felt like this was a trap game. Next week, this coming week, they play the Chargers. could they have been overlooking Indy, going, yeah, probably let's get into, get this game out and go play the Chargers, who are much improved. Very possible. It's a division rival, that type of stuff. But we'll have to keep an eye on this defense. And the offense has been interesting. Troy Franklin had a huge game, and he'll be a guy that we talk about in the waiver wire. So, Arizona 2-0. Interesting, playing Carolina 27-22. Give me your thoughts on the Cardinals in this offense.
Fool's gold. I'm gonna say right now, I don't buy into this offense. If you could sell Marvin Harrison Jr. right now in redraft leagues, I would sell him right now. They don't know how to scheme a guy up. Kyler Murray is very much is Trey McBride open? If he's not, panic. Like, they just don't use their players correctly. Like, Carolina sucks. Just I'm gonna be blunt about it. They are not a good football team. Like, if we lose next week, I'm gonna look real bad. But they are not good. Bryce Young threw the ball 55 times in this game. It's
He did.
crazy. Chuba Hubbard, 38 yards. Ted, awesome. Got 100 yards. I would hope so on 55 attempts. This team's not good. I don't trust anything about the Arizona Cardinals. So.
Yep, I agree. I still like MHJ. I hope they get it turned around. I like Benson more than I like Connor. I think if you have Connor, I think you should probably try to trade him. But that's just me. And there's not really much to talk about the Panthers. There's really nothing there. Let's just move on to a fun game to watch. If you watch this game, it was pretty fascinating. Dallas 40, New York Giants 37.
What the
and I'm going to preface this exactly. I'm going to preface this whole thing because there was a lot of fantasy points made in this. But Dallas all excited that they beat the New York Giants, and then I had to think wait, it's the New York Giants. You're supposed to win that game. So the Cowboys, did what they had to do to win that game. Dak looked pretty good, and Lamb looked pretty good. Outside of that, is your boy that you want to talk about?
My guy Malik. Hey, he's the closest thing to Jamar Chase that we got. I was scared going into the season. I think Matt knew that. I was fielding some trade offers for Malik because I was just. But he just might be quarterback proof. He just might be a dog. I don't know what to say. I don't think we would have thought 2 years ago that we would look at Malik the way we look at him. At least in my vision, the way we look at Malik and the way we look at Marvin Harrison right now. Malik is a dog. He is so good at football. It is so scary. If Jackson Dart is a guy, Malik Neighbor is going to be a rocket ship. Okay. Yeah, this game felt really similar to the Bills and Ravens a little bit, where it's just there is so much scoring going on. It was super fun to watch, and freaking Brandon Aubrey, dude, what a dog of a kicker, dude. He's just so good at the distance between him and the next kicker in the league might be the biggest of any position in the NFL, which is weird for kicker. He's a cheat code.
Yep, got that dome kicking. So I do want to talk about a little bit about Wan'Dale Robinson. He is also going to be on our waiver wire. So, and I'm gonna come back to him later because we told you a long time ago. We told you so.
Yes.
Moving on, Rams 33, Titans 19. Justin, give me your thoughts on this Rams offense. Who do you like?
I mean, who don't you like right now? The only thing that was weird that didn't happen was Kyron didn't get a touchdown. It's probably because freaking Blake Corum stole it from him. Freaking turd. But Sean McVay is really good at his job. Matthew Stafford, I think we panicked a little bit about his back. Devontae's still Devontae. Puka's still Puka. Your horses are your horses in this offense, and I think we're pretty happy to see that. I mean, Puka took 145 yards to the house on a rush. Puka's a dog. I think he's the number one wide receiver in fantasy right now, and Devontae's just getting peppered with targets. So if their defense can continue to play the way they're playing, they're going to be them, and the Packers are probably 1 and 2 in my eyes right now in the NFC. They're just really good teams.
And we've said this from a long time. Clear back when in the fall here, we talked about Stafford. The Rams go as far as Stafford takes them. So keep that in the back of your mind.
Yep.
The Titans, I think Cam Ward is very promising, you guys. Keep an eye on him, especially in Superflex leagues, and we'll kind of go from there. But I do
Matt,
like Cam Ward a lot.
what do you think about Io Manor?
I think you need to pick him up.
Yeah, he's not rostered in a lot of leagues. I had to drop him in one of my dynasty leagues, which I'm regretting. It's just like sometimes those dynasty leagues just get really heavy, and he's one I wish I could have held on to. If you guys remember, we talked about him in the summer. He killed Travis Hunter at Stanford, and he might be the guy. I mean, Calvin Ridley's 30-31, and he went 4 for 56 with a touchdown. Like, maybe he grows with Cam Ward. He's a big target. He catches the ball. He high points it. And if he's not rostered, he needs to be rostered in all leagues.
Yep, I 100% agree. That's another one we're going to talk about the waiver wire. Another game, gosh, you guys, and I apologize. 52-21, Detroit comes in. Actually, the Bears come into Detroit. Detroit puts the smack down. Not even close. The Lions, after a lackluster effort in week 1, just made up for it in Chicago. St. Brown went nuts. Goff went nuts. It was just kind of a free for all. I don't know what happened to the Bears defense. I am a Bears fan for a long, long time. Right now, the Bears are the worst in that division. It's not even close. They have a ways to go. Now I know Ben Johnson will say, they were kind of expecting this rough start, but there's nobody on the Bears that I want right now other than Ajunze. He is the only guy that I want. Period. Caleb looks lost to me, and I was listening to somebody talk about it. Ben Johnson is a timing guy and structure guy, and Caleb is a freelance guy. Trying to put those two together is extremely hard. I don't know if it's going to work long term. I hope so, but I'm telling, what's today? 9/17. Do not be surprised if somewhere down the road, I wouldn't say in the short term, but somewhere down the road, Tyler Badgett gets the nod. I'm serious. If there is any drama whatsoever, that will happen. So I'm kind of down on the Bears. I wish the Bears' defense would have kind of, I don't know, showed up, but they didn't. And so it's tough. We'll see what happens when they have the Cowboys this Sunday. So we'll see what happens. So as far as the Lions, the usual suspects, play your guys. We said we were down on the Lions, but not this game. This game, they looked incredibly good. So Cincinnati, Joe Burrow going down. Jake Browning has to come in. They still beat Jacksonville 31-27. Give us your thoughts on Jake Browning and running this offense now. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this. Burrow's been out before, and Jake Browning did really well. But there's a couple of things you need to realize. And Justin, I'm going to let you kind of take the lead on this one first of what you expect from this Bengals offense.
Last time you win it, he was on pace for 4,500 yards. Like, that's the gist of it. He still has all the weapons. This offensive line is going to be awful. They're going to still pass the ball. I think the whole coordinator, whoever it is, they are going to throw the ball a lot. I think they will utilize Chase Brown a little bit more to save Jake Browning from getting killed. If not, they're going to have to trade for Jameis, or they're going to have to trade for Kirk Cousins. That's just the way it is. Jamar Chase is going to get his. I'm not worried. I think T. Higgins maybe takes a little bit of a hit, but I think that's it. I think this offense will be exactly the same. I mean, Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow. I get it, but they are going to throw at a high clip still.
Yeah. If I remember right, Higgins' last time Browning was in there, Chase is the one that took a little bit of a hit, and T. Higgins actually remained the same. But I agree with you 100%. I don't think it's enough of a hit to worry about for Chase, but just understand that the Bengals are still in a good shape under Jake Browning, so don't worry too much about that. The Jaguars, I want to talk about BTJ. He's, people took him as a high draft pick, and Trevor Lawrence just hasn't looked all that great. Even Travis Hunter hasn't looked all that great. Justin, give me your thoughts.
Again, this offense, I trust Liam Cohen. I think this offense is fine. Travis Etienne looks good. Brian Thomas had some what we call business decisions where he chose to short arm some balls because he did not want to get killed. Maybe it was the wrists. I think he's fine. Like, he's still that dude. He'll be okay. Travis Hunter It felt like they were trying to use him a little bit more on defense to combat Jamar Chase. T. Higgins, I hope they come to their senses and be like, hey, we drafted him with the number 2 overall pick. He is an offensive player. That's where he will make the biggest impact. We invested hundreds of millions of dollars into Trevor Lawrence. Let's make sure that investment is correct. So that's my hope. Don't panic on BTJ and don't panic on Travis Hunter. I think they will be okay.
I agree. Seattle 31, Pittsburgh 17. Interesting. Pittsburgh, after looking really, really good in week 1, really didn't look so good week 2. Seattle looked good, and we had a Walker sighting. So Seahawks, I want to talk about Walker. I think everybody else, that Walker-Charbonnet split. This week, are you starting Walker over Charbonnet?
Yeah, Charbonnet, I think had a limited or did not participate in practice today, so I think you can start Kenneth Walker. He still only had 19 carries, guys. I mean, 13 carries. That's not a lot. Like, he's still not getting a ton of toe. Zach Charbonnet still had more touches. Like, I don't know what's going on with his backfield still. Like, it's very strange. The reason or a big turning point in this game was Matt's guy, Caleb Johnson, touched the ball on a kickoff and just left, and Seattle scored. So they got basically a free 7 points. Okay, the difference in this game is 14 points. Does that swing it? Probably. That's a big momentum change. So I think this game has some empty. If you're just looking at the stat line, the team stats, the player stats, there's some empty things that you're like, how was this game this way? So again, I think you would start Kenneth Walker this week just because I don't know how much Charbonnet is going to play, but we'll see. The Steelers, I don't know if they're good. I think they're 8-9 again, 9-8, whatever Mike Tomlin wants to do. I do not think this is a playoff team.
Yep, I agree. We'll see. I think that the Steelers will figure it out. I don't think they're as bad as what they showed, but that Caleb Johnson hurt. That mistake hurt quite a bit.
They scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. 17 points, Seattle.
Yeah, I know. I do like Calvin Austin still. Pat Freiermuth had a showing. So, and again for Seattle, you're still starting JSN. Sam Darnold looked pretty decent too. So, moving to the San Francisco 26, New Orleans 21. New Orleans doesn't look as bad as we thought, Justin. They're doing all right. We talked a little bit about Juwan Johnson. Spencer Rattler looks decent. Alvin Kamara still doing it. So, give me your thoughts on them.
Do you know who has the most amount of targets in the league right now?
I'm going to say Juwan Johnson.
No, it's Chris Olave.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
He has the most targets right now in the NFL. I think this gunslinging Kellen. I think the biggest thing with Kellen is he's keeping a high pace. So they're 7th right now in like pace of play. So they're getting the ball off quite a bit. They threw the ball 34 times. They ran the ball a decent amount, like 20 times, 20 to 30 times. So they're doing a lot of things. They're making a lot of offensive plays, which is a recipe for successful offense. If Juwan Johnson's not rostered in any of your leagues, it needs to happen like right now. Like pause the podcast, pick him up real quick, and then pause playing it. Like we'll wait. Pick him up. I think Spencer Rattler will cool off. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if the Niners stick with Mac Jones for one more week. It sounds like Brock Purdy wants to play this week, but we'll see.
Yeah, and understanding Mac Jones didn't do too bad. He was 26 for 39 for 279 and 3 touchdowns. So he did pretty well in this game. So Patriots in Miami, interesting game for sure. If you watched it, New England wins at 33 and Miami 27. And Miami did look better. Probably the one that kind of sticks out to me in this game, just because I am a Travion Henderson fan, but it really was Stevenson who had all the numbers. Now a third or 40% of that was on one play, but my worry is, are we back to the old Patriots when you could never trust the running back with Bill Belichick? Are we back to that again?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's just like a weird thing with rookie running backs. He played 32% of the snaps, which was lower than his week 1. just concerning. Like, he should be the guy. He had a bad miscue on a pass block. It's a little concerning. Drake May looked halfway decent, 9 of 23 for 230, 2 touchdowns. I just want to see him play. Just like let him ball out. Like, it's just frustrating. I don't think Stevenson should get any of this work, but it's whatever. I'm just getting frustrated.
Yeah. Miami, after taking off week 1, I think they were still on vacation down there. Turned it back around. Tua looked really good. Tyreek had 6 catches for 109. Waddle had 5 catches for 68 yards. Tua missed a couple of throws there, pretty bad, but overall they didn't look good. Tua 26 for 32, 315 yards, but now has to face this Bills defense. I'm not on the Tua train this week. I'm really not on any of the Miami offense. I would probably, for me, I'm okay trading any Miami player away. No thanks.
Devon Achane feels really similar to Bucky. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this stat line, he had 11 carries for 30 yards. But then he had 8 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. You're like, okay, I can do that. I think he's the one guy I would want to own in Miami.
Moving on, Baltimore 41, Cleveland 17. Look, the Ravens look very good. As of right now, for me, Lamar Jackson is the MVP again.
Hey, come on now. Bijan, come on. Give Bijan some love.
We can have quarterbacks go first. But right now, he just looks so good through two games. A couple of touchdown passes. I don't want to say, I know it's the Browns, but anybody on the Chiefs, look, he is making Flowers look good. Right. Hey. And he was not a good wide receiver last year. And he is recorded. I don't know, Justin, you can pull up those stats, but what he has already this year is pretty darn good. So I'm like, dang.
Zay Flowers is popping off right now. It's actually crazy. I'm like, man, I'm going to go trade for Zay Flowers because he's getting all the targets right now.
He's getting all the targets.
So he has 20 total targets for 250, right around there.
Yeah.
In 2 games, like, he's getting it.
He is looking very, very good, which that is out of the norm for sure. So as far as the Browns, I hope you listened to Justin and I hope you listened to us. We told you last week, if you didn't get an opportunity, go pick up Judkins. He signed. We told you to pick him up. Now he outshined Sampson. Now he is part of it. So I hope you listened and you went and got Judkins. I certainly picked him up. Outside of Judkins, there's really not anybody. Cedric Wilson, maybe, but no thanks.
Harold Fannin looks like a dude.
Fannin does look good. You're correct.
He looks very good at football. So just make sure you're on the lookout for him. Like, he has a pretty good target share right now, like 22%. He is being not used just as a tight end. I think Jerry Jeudy is rosterable. But like Matt said, like, Quentin Judkins is number 1 on the depth chart right now. Like, that just got released. Like, he is number 1. So he's going to get some toe.
Yeah. Jacob's got a question here. I'm going to get right to you, Jacob. Hold on. I do want to talk about this Buffalo and Jets game. Buffalo 30, New York Jets 10. This is what we feared from the Jets. That Fields is going to be out. They don't look good. Breece Hall doesn't look good. But the Bills, I don't know. James Cook has so far defied what we told you, and we'll own that. We told you not to draft him, but he looks really good. I still think long-term he's not going to live up. And I know Allen doesn't look good right now, but trust the process. He's going to be fine. He'll be fine. So Jets are not anything. Really don't want any Jets.
James Cook's running, like, his run, I think it was like a 60-yard run, was absolutely unreal. I was like mystified at it. He broke like 7 tackles. Like, he would jump cut it like 3 times, the outside to the hashes, and then it was just gone. I was just like, what just happened? Like, that was probably half of his points. It was a 60-yard run. He scored a touchdown on it. It was nuts. And the Jets defense is usually good. They should be good. And I've told you guys from the very beginning, I've been out on Justin Fields. I'm trying to trade Garrett Wilson. I just don't love anything the Jets do. So.
Yep, agreed. Moving on down the road, Green Bay. This is the last one. Green Bay, Washington. Green Bay just looks different. And I told you when Parsons went
Scary.
to Green Bay, their defense is going to be very, very good. And they were like 15th, and their defense is solid, you guys. I like it from top to bottom. Their offense looks good. Love looks good. Matthew Golden's getting well, and good Lord Kraft. Kraft is getting a ton of looks, and I have seen him on the waiver wires. Go pick him up, please. So it was crazy. Somebody dropped him. I'm like, you're nuts. So he's just not a big name, right? So Kraft is a guy that you got to get. As far as the Commanders, this Packer defense made the Commanders offense just look totally inept. I hadn't seen Jaden Daniels get bottled up like that yet, and he was bottled up the whole time. They didn't make anything happen. So give me your thoughts on that game before we get over to Jacob's question.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels threw 24 for 42. That is not a good completion percentage. Their leading rusher had 17 yards, and he tore his hamstring in like the first quarter. This defense is scary. Micah Parsons is a chess piece. Tucker Kraft might be the third best tight end in the league. I don't think anybody would be crazy to think that. Behind Bowers and McBride. Like, he's a dog. Jordan Love looks really good. Josh Jacobs is doing Josh Jacobs. Like, they got 15 wide receivers, it feels like. They got some dudes on defense. Like, they got half the Georgia defense on here. Like, guys, this team's scary. I don't know if anybody wants to play them in January or February when we get to that time. They are a scary team.
Not if they stay healthy. And I believe Reed got hurt.
Yep.
But they still have Wicks, and they have Savion Williams behind that. Guys, they're fine. I think Wicks actually got.
They can play two tight ends.
Wide receiver.
Yeah,
yes.
They can play two tight ends. They'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's get to Jacob's question here. This one's good. So I think we start. Is Dak and JT for Chase Brown and Rashid Rice, or Dak, Igbuka, and or Javonte any good for a 12-man PPR with Mahomes, Saquon, JT, Tyreek, DJ Moore, Kelsey, Igbuka, Williams as my lineup? So I think, there's definitely a lot here. Is Jack and JT for Chase Brown and Rashid Rice? Right. So let's Dak, JT for Chase Brown and Rashid Rice, or Dak Igbuka.
I think you say it's either Dak and JT for Chase Brown and Rashid Rice, or it's Dak and Becca and Javonte for Chase Brown and Rashid Rice. Let's think about this. I like Chase Brown. I don't think you're getting a huge upgrade from JT with Chase Brown. That Colts offense looks good. I am totally out on Rashid Rice. I don't think you should trade for him. Okay, with Igbuka, I just traded him away in a Dynasty League. So that he probably has a little bit more value in Dynasty if this is just a redraft league. His metrics right now aren't super great. Like, he has a decent target share, but like his separation and like getting open rate is not great. I think his ceiling will be like a JSN light. So I'm not super. I think you're fine with Dak. I mean, you have Mahomes and Dak, which is a lot. I think Dak in the long run is probably better than Mahomes. The fact that you have Saquon and JT is absolutely ridiculous. Your wide receivers scared the crap out of me, and I'm sure they scare the crap out of Matt. Javonte
I don't know why. I mean, so basically, if you traded Dak and JT, you would have Chase Brown and Rashid Rice. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the stack. That's what you're trying to do. In a 12 man. If it's me, I don't know who else is out there for quarterbacks. I think I'm okay to do that with the Chase Brown and Rashid Rice trade if you want to. I prefer to hang on to Igbuka, but I can see if you wanted to trade. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get rid of JT though. To be honest, he looks so good right now.
In my opinion, like if you feel good about Mahomes, which again it's not a super flex. I would probably trade because I think Javante is a very much a sell high right now. I think you trade Dak, Abuka, and Javante because then you insert Chase Brown where you are playing Javante. I think Chase Brown has a lot more upside. Rashid Weiss, it's just hard because you have to wait 4 more weeks, right, Matt? That he comes back.
Yep.
Plus you lose the bye week. I just don't think trading for Rice when your team is that stacked is good. If you're trying to trade your quarterback for maybe another wide receiver, I totally get that. I don't think this is the best way to do it, though. I don't think Rashid Rice should be a target for you.
And I'm not sure if he says Williams, is that Jamo Williams? Or is
Javonte.
that Javante Williams?
Javante.
Okay.
I think it's Javante.
You know, I don't know who your backup tight end is, but if you're trying to improve your wide receiver core, I would look to try to trade a Kelsey or a Tyreek to somebody and see if you can get a BTJ. Get somebody that's a Calvin Ridley, a Lad McConkey. You see what I'm saying?
Like Drake London.
A Drake London, somebody that's really down. It's like, oh man, I need a tight end, and Kelsey's got that name value right now. I think that's what I would.
It feels like you're trying to buy too much cheap. Like as a Falcons owner of a lot of Falcons players, like I hate starting 3 of them. It stresses me out really hard because if that offense craps, like I lost, like I'm out on that game. So like, I get the stack. I always try to stack Burrow and Chase, or whoever's playing for the Vikings, and Jefferson or whatever it was. But if you had Mahomes, Rice, maybe Tyreek gets traded to the Chiefs, and you have Kelsey, you are a Chiefs fan now. Like your team will go as that team goes, and I don't think that's a really good bet this season, as Matt has already talked about.
Yep, I'm okay with. Go ahead. I would try Javante too. I'd be looking to trade Javante.
Yeah.
Javante Kelsey, Javante DJ Moore, Javante, really any of your wide receivers. If you can get a Javante DJ Moore for a top wide receiver because somebody's in need of running back help, I think you do it. But don't trade. Yeah, don't trade Dak. Don't trade JT. You don't need the running back help right now. You're trying to get a wide receiver out of this that I agree. I don't like it. And I don't think you need to push the stat. So I hope that helps, Jacob.
Rest of season, I would much rather have Dak than Mahomes. So.
Yeah. Moving on. Let's get on to the next segment here. And we have covered a lot of stuff here in almost an hour. I want to get to the waiver wire. There's not a lot of waiver wire stuff, but I want to get into it. So, Justin, give me some of the waiver wire guys. I hope people went and got, or maybe they're available in their league and you need to pick them up.
Waiver wire. So I'll talk about quarterback first. I think Jake Browning is a guy that you need to roster. I think he's going to play the rest of the season. He's just an easy one that in a spot start, I think he will be okay. So that is probably my quarterback for the week. Running back wise, I got to look at ownership of Jordan Mason real quick and see what his ownership is. He's owned in 88, so he's probably not out there. Woody Marks, though, is probably out there for a lot of you guys, and he should be owned. Okay, I think Nick Chubbs will go the way of Aaron Jones. I think he'll get beat up a little bit, and I think they'll start to rely on him. He's only owned in 17% of leagues right now, so I think those are 2 positions that I would target right now.
Yeah, I've got a few names here. I have waiver wire: Woody Marks, Troy Franklin, Tootin, and Wan'Dale Robinson. If any of those guys are out there, you need to go get them. That is as simple as that. Not everybody's going to know about these people. They might know about Troy Franklin because he had a big game and Robinson, but Robinson should have already been rostered because we told you guys to roster him a long time ago. He had massive targets. The other thing is that for some reason, remember, Neighbors needs surgery on his toe. That is for certain. He's working through it. If the Giants get into a spot where they are not playoff bound, it would not surprise me if they shut down Neighbors and Robinson becomes the new number 1. Just understand that. So you have to put that in the back of your mind. If you need to trade Neighbors, you're kind of like, I don't know. Be looking to make the move. You have to put that in your back pocket. So, real quickly, I do want to kind of let's get into some trades, Justin. and
Heck yeah.
maybe what you've seen, and we'll kind of go from there. So give me some guys before we get into a trade evaluation. Give me some guys that you think we should trade for right now. Give me 2 that you need to trade for and 2 that you'd like to trade away.
Oh man, I have somebody to trade for though, because that's all I'm doing right now. Like,
Give me your 2 big ones.
I love the first couple of weeks, especially in Dynasty, because everybody's panicking, and I'm like, all right, time to make some offers. And just like get people to talk, and then everybody gets mad at me in my league because they're like, oh, you freaking swindled him. And I'm just like, guys, I just talk to people. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Okay? So, I think right now, you need to go get Drake London. I think people are panicking. He had a big old fat fumble on Sunday night. Everybody saw it. So, he's pretty out there right now. I'm just going to go with the primetime games because I think everybody watched them. They're like, well, that guy sucks at football now, which they absolutely don't. Go get Drake London and go get Ashton Jeanty. I traded, if you can go get Javonte, if you can go trade Javonte, it's something for Ashton Jeanty, I would 100% do it.
I 100% agree. A guy that I think you should also trade for, we're going to go back and forth here a little bit, Chase Brown. Go get Chase Brown. He is on the low right now. He has not looked good in that offense, but with the new quarterback situation, I think you can remember where you drafted him, where people drafted him in that 3rd, 4th round. You can get him for much cheaper than that. When you're doing trades, that's kind of the value you're looking for with a lot of upside. So I'm a big fan. Go get Chase Brown. You can get him for pennies on the dollar. Give me your number 2, Justin.
Someone to trade? I talked a little bit about BTJ. These are all wide receivers mostly. Like, Nico Collins has had a rough start, and I'm still a big believer in Nico. And then Ladd, I think, is another guy that I don't think they're going to cost as much as you think they're going to cost. Especially if you go, like, J-Mo just had a big week, and I am just not a big believer in J-Mo. I think he's a guy that you could easily trade away for someone that's a lot better.
It's fair. I've got a couple of guys. I mean, real brief, you already talked about Drake London. I think Calvin Ridley's another guy you could trade for real low. Golden is a guy that you could trade for. We already talked about BTJ. But I do see if you can go get Travis Hunter. There is so much hype on Travis Hunter.
Ooh, okay.
There's so much hype around him, and he really hasn't done much. See if go cast the line out there. See if somebody's interested in moving. Maybe they got injury. Maybe they lost I don't know. Maybe you pair him with a quarterback. Pair up a player with a quarterback that you have extra because they just lost Joe Cool. So I think you can get Travis Hunter cheap. I think that's something you should look at for sure.
That's fair.
Give me a guy you want to trade away. Oh, go ahead.
We're on the same page. I would trade away Quentin Johnston right now. I would trade him away so fast. I just don't think he's that guy. I am. Call me a hater. Call me whatever you want to call me. I would trade him away so fast for whoever. I don't know who that target would be, but I would put him on the trade block and see if I get any biters. That's the first guy. Javonte, I already talked a little bit about him. I would definitely trade him away. I just don't think it's sustainable. They have 3 guys. They have Miles. They have Jaden Blue. Will they go back to that? Will Kenneth Walker get traded? Like, that whole thing in Seattle, I don't know what the heck's going on over there. What's up, Matt? Sorry. I'm looking at wide receiver.
So one guy that I want you to trade away right now, and I'll even give you the map. If you have Ramondre Stevenson, go trade him.
Yeah, he sucks.
And the team you trade him to is a team that has Henderson. Right? It's like, I got your guy. You got them both. You'll own the entire backfield. I am so worried, and I have shares of Henderson. I'm so worried that they're going to do this back and forth thing week to week, and it's going to drive you crazy. But if you can go get somebody, look, you might be able to get a Chase Brown and some change for Stevenson. Like, understand that. It's very possible. Maybe you can get a Calvin Ridley for a Stevenson. So with a little bit of change. But trade Stevenson if you have him. Go trade him. I know he went out, but it's not going to happen. Go to the Henderson team and see.
I have one more real example that happened for me. And like, I know Matt's not gonna like this, but like, I really thought about it over the weekend and about this trade. Like, me and this owner went back and forth. He's a big Bucks fan. I think that's one thing to keep in mind is when you are trading with somebody, like, understand their
Who's got the
fandom.
man crush? Yeah.
Like, understand who they like. He's a big Baker guy, and he's been wanting to get Ibuka since the season started. And like, I just threw out my grandfather offer, and I think I told that to Matt. I was like, "Listen, I will trade anybody for a grandfather offer. Like, that's just how I am. If you're gonna offer me a bunch of stuff to get your guy, like, I'm gonna take your stuff, and then I'm gonna win a championship. That's just how it is." So, I basically traded Emeka, who I love. I love him dearly. I don't know if he's ever gonna have the ceiling that I want, but I traded him for Justin Jefferson for the most part. And I was just like, Justin Jefferson will probably be a top 8 to 5 wide receiver for the next 4 years. And this is Dynasty. And I think getting on those quickly is very important. Like, I wouldn't trade like Tyler Warren for a lot just because he's at a position that is, in my eyes, a very premium position where there's not a lot of difference makers. I wouldn't trade Brock Bowers. I wouldn't trade Tucker Kraft right now. But like, when people send you crazy offers, like, you just have to take advantage of that. So the Emeka trade hurt me a little bit when I pressed accept, but I knew it was the right thing for my team.
Another guy that I think you need to trade away right now is Travis Kelce. Trade him away. Let off of name value. Trade him away. Trade him away. Trade him away. See what else you can get for in an area. Hopefully, like, there's been some pretty good tight ends that are still left on the waiver wire. See what's out there. I think, and maybe you've drafted a second tight end, but see if you can get something on Travis Kelce or something for Travis Kelce on name. He just doesn't look the same. He just looks off to me. And I'm not the only one that said that. Yeah, I'm not the only one that's saying that. There's plenty of people, but see if you can move off of him. So, you want to get him some start sits and see what we got, Justin? Like, you're good with that? Do you have one more?
No, I'm good. I can do start sits.
All right. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Who do you like this week? Who is the quarterback you like? No, you always start your studs. That's just, you don't go, wow, I'm going to sit this guy for this game. For the most part, you start your studs, okay? That's just how it works. You have Josh Allen. I know he didn't play well last week, but you started. That's just how it works. Yes. So don't get crazy.
So where I'm looking at is anything below the top 12 in their weekly rankings. So I'm just on Fantasy Pro. I'm going to go with Matt's guy. Penix is going to throw the ball around this week because he's going against Carolina, and they suck at defense. I think they're going to throw the ball around. Whether that's to Bijan, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, or Mooney, my guy Washington, I think he's going to have a big game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where Dak is in that list, but I'm starting Dak against my Bears. I think you'll see a little bit more of what you saw this last week. So start Dak. There are your two quarterbacks. Start those guys. If you're going to sit somebody this week, who are you sitting?
Oh, this is. You're not going to sit it, but I have forward expectations as Jalen Hurts. He's playing the Rams. The Rams are good.
Yeah,
like,
they're good.
After last week's showing, like, I think they're going to get called for more false starts this week. Like, it was pretty abrupt against the Chiefs. So I think that's something that happens. He's number 3 this week. I don't think you're going to sit him. But I think the Rams can temper your expectations just like the Chiefs did.
The guy I'm going to tell you, and he had a great week last week, and I told you the team goes as far as he goes. You have to sit Stafford. Stafford goes to the Eagles this week. That Eagles defense is legit. I just don't play him. Don't risk it. Starting running backs. Who you got, Justin? Who is your starting or who are you playing this week?
I'm just gonna do it for the meme. I'm starting Bill. Let's go. Let's give him some run
Oh,
against the
you
Las
took my
Vegas
guy.
Raiders. Oh, I did. Let's go. Okay,
Yeah,
Matt can
yeah.
talk about Bill.
Bill's my guy too. No, go ahead.
Man,
I think we can share that one. Let's do it.
he's playing Las Vegas, man. He should get the full workload. He should get 80% of snaps. I think it's a really easy start. I think he'll have a good time.
Yep, I think so too. I'm not worried. He's going to get all the work. I'm not worried about our guy from BSU and JMac. But yeah, I think you got to start him. And another guy that I think we already talked about for me starting, you're starting Kenneth Walker this week. This is a no-brainer. You start him. Get after it. So a guy that you may be sitting this week, Justin.
Matt already talked about him. James Conner. Go to San Francisco. Still have a very good defense. I think he's going to get shut down. Maybe this is a Trey Benson game. Who knows? But yeah, I would really temper my expectations as a top 24 running back this week. I think he's a guy that could have a tough game.
Yeah. A guy that, and I might be wrong on this one, but I think a guy that you need to really consider if you have other guys to do it. But Travis Etienne against that Houston defense. And they're right. I know the offense has struggled, but they're playing the Jags this week. So, or the Jags are playing Houston. So I think the Houston offense might be enough, but I'm not high on Etienne this week. So moving on to wide receivers. Who do you like? Do you week 3?
Man, this is hard. I mean, George Pickett's, if I could just compound off of you. Like, he's going against Chicago. They just got 52 dropped on their head. Like, Dallas is going to throw the ball. Like, let's see what he does. Maybe this is his game.
Yep, I've got a couple, and I'm not quite sure. I do like DK Metcalf against New England, but you have to also play Rome. You're playing Rome Odunze this week against Dallas.
That's fair.
Guy that you may be sitting for the wide receivers, Justin. Who's your guy?
I'm going to sit Marvin Harrison until they freaking figure out how to use him. I am not denying the talent of Marvin Harrison. I am denying whoever's calling these plays. Like, scheme him open. Like, manufacture touches to him. He was the number 4 overall pick. Like, figure it out. It's super frustrating.
I'm going to go out on a limb and really say any Chargers wide receiver. They're playing Dallas. They're Denver this week. So just temper expectations. Temper the expectations there for sure. So finally, Justin, tight ends. Who do you like? Who are you rolling out there?
Juwan Johnson. I'm just going to keep starting him until he makes me wrong. He's just a dog. He's just... I think they're just going to throw the ball to Chris Olave and him and just be like, yeah, figure us out. Like, they're just going to let Spencer Rattler, like, gunsling around. Like, they want a high draft pick. They're just going to keep riding it. I'm pretty high on him.
Yep. 2 guys I think you could also start. I like Jake Ferguson this week, but I also like Kincaid against Miami. Kincaid was sneakily good last week, leading them in receptions. Now, I might be wrong a little bit because they're going to force the ball down the field a little bit, but I don't know. And as a note, you're starting Tucker Kraft no matter what.
Yep.
So, guy that you're sitting.
I mean, this is definitely going to come back to bite me. I have no doubt. I am scared of the crap out of Minnesota. Hawkinson, he did not look good Sunday night. Like, he did not move well. This offensive line is atrocious. I get they're playing Cincy. That should be a plus matchup, but I don't know what they're going to do. They're the new quarterback, new center, new left tackle. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm a little stressed about Hawkinson.
This one is one I want to ask Chance on, but I'm going to sit Evan Ingram. He was supposed to be the Joker, and he hasn't done anything in Denver. I cannot play him after getting torched the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to sit Evan Ingram and kind of go from there. Well, just for funds for defenses, who do you like for defense this week? This one's kind of just a fun one.
You already know who I like for defense. The number 1 defense right now, according to a lot of metrics, is the Atlanta Falcons. And the Carolina Panthers just lost their right guard. Let's go.
Yeah,
our rookies are coming.
If you need a flyer, somebody stream. Obviously, you're playing the big ones, but let me roll down here. Gosh,
Just Just say
They
Green Bay.
haven't looked bad.
Just say Green Bay. Just say Green
Well,
Bay.
yeah, that Green Bay's a no-brainer. I told you that earlier. But if you were in a pinch, I'm thinking you could probably play. I don't know if I want to say it. Look, the Raiders defense doesn't look bad. It hasn't looked that bad, guys. If you needed to and they play they play Washington. I know it's kind of crazy, but Washington's offense hasn't looked that good. But if in a pinch, maybe you could play the Raiders.
Hey, I'm gonna say a bad word. Cincinnati.
Ooh, you as a no or a yes?
Yeah, start them.
Fair enough. In a pinch, if you need to. That's true. In a pinch. A defense that you're absolutely not playing, like no way.
Oh gosh, this is rough. I don't want to go down like Carolina. I mean, I don't want to sound like a homer. Yeah. Chicago, like either of those two teams, I am not about that. Please don't let me start that. I'd rather just take the 0.
Look, this team I thought was going to be pretty decent because I thought their offense would be good enough. But I'm not starting the Jets. The Jets are playing Tampa Bay. Don't start them. Yep. Don't go with the Jets. So fun stuff, Justin. Man, we covered so much. We're an hour 6 into it. Got a question answered. You guys have been awesome hanging out with us. We very much appreciate it. Again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We just want to help you win your fantasy football teams, leagues anyway. At least get a week 3 win. So hopefully this advice has helped you this week. There's a lot there, so that's why we ask questions along the way. So, Justin, any final words before we sign off for the evening?
Still alive in the Guilty League. Still there. Didn't bid on anybody this week, but I'm happy to still be alive. Like we're still going. We got Bijan carrying us, and we're gonna ride that wave.
Right on. Yeah, I am also alive in our Guillotine League. It's been a lot of fun. Doing well. I am in 2-0 in a few leagues, 1-1 in a few others, but I'm not 0-2 in any leagues. I won Dynasty League, which is a complete rebuild. That is fun just to kind of try to make that happen. But the rest, we're doing pretty well. Hopefully you're listening to the channel. We're giving you all the answers, right? This is the cheat code to the test, and it's been fun. So thanks for coming along with us on this ride. Please join us. Oh, we got a couple comments. Let's answer those before we go here.
Godspeed.
There's Godspeed. Godspeed, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, he said I started T-Law and I still lost. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier. Godspeed. T-Law doesn't look right. Something's off on that offense. We still like Cohen. We still think he's going to do well. But dang it all. The nice thing about fantasy football, you never lose, you learn, and you move on in the next week. So we covered a lot in the show. Godspeed. Thanks for hanging with us. But we are going to what do we got? Bills defense or Packers D? I'm telling you right now, and it's not close for me. It's Packers.
Oh, it's Packers defense.
It's right. It's Packers. The Packers defense, ever since they got Parsons, and I said it a long time ago, that defense is now dangerous. It's crazy, and I think it helps their offense. So that's easy for me. Packers D all the way. And at the very beginning of the season, they were ranked like 15, and now they're up there. They are legit defense. So, I mean, look what they did to Godspeed. Think about this. Look what they did to the Vikings offense, and look what the Viking offense did to the Bears defense. It's like, so it's nuts. I'm 0-2. I've played both highest team 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, okay, I'll roll Packers. Yeah, you'll be good. Keep grinding. You're doing great. 0-2 in this early means nothing. If you go 0-4, then you start to panic a little bit. But 0-2 means nothing.
That's true.
So
that's very true.
Right on. Okay, we're gonna get out of here. Thanks everybody for joining us tonight. If you missed us, go back and watch. We covered a lot of information. It was good. So Justin and everybody, until next time, we will see you guys next time. We are out of here, and we'll be back on Tuesday. We're going to be back to Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So, all right. Yep. Have a good night, everybody.